Hello everyone. This is the third learning material in the lecture series of Programming in C language. This is our first module. Prerequisites and subsection that we will discussing is technical terminologies. Let's begin with the module. First of all, let's learn something about the programming and programming languages. Program is a step-by-step developed set of instructions given to a machine in order to perform the particular task. Programming language just like any other natural language, with the difference that it is designed to communicate with machines instead of humans. Here are a variety of different programming languages are in the market depending on the requirements, applications and the field of the programmer. We can broadly categorize the programming languages in the three major categories based on who is involved in communication and how much is the involvement. Let's get some idea about those categories which are classified as low, high and middle level languages. First category is of low level language. It is a collection of very detailed cryptic instruction that control the computer's internal circuitry. It is also called as the machine or assembly language because it is directly used by the CPU without any human interface. For example, in case when we are programming any microcontroller device, then we have to use more complicated language like assembly language, which is meant only for the machine-machine interaction. So all the involvement of the machine is up to 80% and only 20% is human intervention is there in such languages. They are comprised of much more complicated sentences which we don't often use in the natural language. Second category is of high level language. It is a programming language with strong abstraction and the human compatible instructions and thought processes. Generally, single instruction in a high level language will be equivalent to several instructions in machine language. Consider, for example, if you want to program a robotics arm which directly takes order from the humans and work as per the instruction, so we may use Python or MATLAB in such case, which consist keywords, functions and commands. Those are very much similar to language that we speak on daily basis. Third category is of middle level language. This is a type of language which actually bridges the gap between the low level and high level language. It has a small but a strong set of instructions, operators and functions which helps the user to cover a wide scope of applications and fields. One can easily switch to lower or higher level languages once learning the middle level language. These are easy to understand the programming and also appropriate to develop the logic of C, C++, Fortran, Pascal are some of the popular middle level languages. Let's move to the next part and see some of the terminologies related to the programming in general. We begin with syntax. It is a rule which is to be followed while writing a particular command is called as the syntax of the command. While programming, we may change the parameters in any syntax, but we can't modify the syntax. Next important concept is compiler or interpreter. They both are assigned for the same task, but they work differently. Compiler or interpreter is a special program that processes the instruction and statements written in the particular higher or middle level language that is used by the computer only. In case of C language, there is a powerful compiler called as GCC compiler which we will be using. Apart from these, there is another important aspect related to the programming, that is linker. It is a special program that links the other small code, functions, library files, etc. that are directly used or called in the user-defined program. At last but not the least is a code called as the assembler. In case of few higher languages, it is necessary that even after the conversion of program by compiler, it needs a program to further reduce it to a machine level language. Such special program is called assembler. Here, let's take a few moments just to understand the basic difference between the compiler and interpreter, as we have already said that they are assigned for same task but work differently. In case of compiler, it is one stroke finisher. It takes the entire data and analyzes the whole file and then generates a report with the errors to debug. After debugging all the errors, it generates the final executable form of program. On the other hand, in case of interpreter, it is sequential finisher. It takes single instruction at a time, analyzes and converts it. If there is no error in the statement, it processes it to the next. If it finds any error, it stops at that point and asks to debug it. So in this way, the entire program is converted to the final executable form. Now, as we are little bit familiar to the flowchart, let's study the structure of the computer programming. It is a general flow describing about how a computer handles a program and understand the programmer's command. It begins with writing the source code in the language chosen. Then it gets converted into machine level language and finally computer generates a final executable program which we can run and access. Executable means can be handled, accessed and run by human directly in order to communicate with machine. Let's begin with the start. First step after that will be writing a nice C or C++ program which is called as the source code in the technical language. At this point, the file generated by the programmer will be file.c. Then we feed this source code to the compiler or interpreter which will be converted to the lower machine language. At this stage, the object code of the original program is generated. In case if we have used any sort of special functions, library, files, etc., then at this stage the linker program will link such files to the pre-generated object code. In such way, a final code called the executable program is generated. This is the form which will be used by the computer and user as a medium of interaction. Now we will be discussing a very unique method of learning the programming. It is called as the box method of learning programming. It is a non-technical way but very effective way of learning programming. It uses the fact that the entire memory stack of the computer is divided into smaller basic units. Each such unit have a unique address or a location which is fixed. While writing any program, we can choose the required amount memory from any of the available location as per our convenience. In the box method, we will consider each single memory location as a separate box. So just like any organized go down of the factory with stack of boxes, we have stack of memory. We can access, fill, arrange and empty these boxes, that is memory location as per our requirements. This is called as a box method for learning programming. This method is very useful and always helps while writing the correct algorithm, flowcharts and even the program based on any language. Here, let's try to understand the use of as well as the ability of the box method with the help of a simple example. Consider this task. Take few numbers from the users and go do the addition of all the numbers and tell the final answer. So, as we are now a little bit familiar with the algorithms, let's write an algorithm and check whether it is useful or not. Consider a person has given you 10 random numbers. Let's start. Second step is counting off the numbers and read them. So, let's choose a memory location and give it as a name, count and store 10 number. Read all the numbers. Third step says sum is equal to 0, hence we will define a memory location with the name sum and store value 0 in it. Now next says that we have to define a memory location with name A and have saved the first number in that. Similarly, we need another location with name B where we will be saving the second number. Moving to the step 5, we have to define a new memory location with name C in order to store the addition of A and B. After this, the sixth step is a critical step. It means that one should add the value present in the box C to the value already present in the box sum and store the obtained result in the box of sum itself. Don't worry at this point and even don't question the ability of the computer to handle such operations. Always remember that computer is a very obedient slave of his master. It will do whatever is directed by the programmer according to the valid rules. So let's perform this step. Next step is to decrement the counter by value 2. Step 8 is the decisional statement. It says that if the counter value is less than the 0, then go to the step 4, else go to the step 9. Now our counter is 8, which is less than 0, so as we will go to the second step. We will save the value first number, that is 7 in the box A, and second number 3 in the box B. Addition of these numbers will be saved in box C, and this value, that is 10, will be added to the value of the sum that is already present in the box and saved there. Here, note that in step 5, we are not considering the previously saved value in the box. But in case of step 6, we are considering the previously saved value. In next step, we will decrement the counter by 2. According to the step 8, we will check the value of counter, and if it will be less than 0, then again we will go to the step 2. We will save the value first number, that is 19 in the box A, and second number 21 in the box B. Addition of these numbers, that is 40, will be saved in box C. This value will be added to the value of the sum that is already present in the box and saved there. According to the step 7, our counter will become 4, which is again less than 0, and hence we will be performing the second step again. So let's save the value first number, that is 46 in box A, and second number 7 in box B. Addition of these numbers will be saved in box C. This value will be added to the value of the sum that is already present in the box and saved there. According to the step 7, our counter will become 2, which is again less than 0, hence we will be performing the step 2 again. Here, let's save the value first number, that is 62 in box A, and second number 34 in box B. Addition of these numbers, 96 will be saved in box C. This value will be added to the value of the sum that is already present in the box and saved there. According to the step 7, our counter will become 0, and this will take our flow control out of the repetitive action according to step 8. Step 9 is print the value in the box named sum as the final answer. So here the addition of the given 10 number is 221 is printed and the process will be stopped. In this way, we can use the box method for writing, understanding, and even error debugging also. Thank you. Here we have finished the theory part of this subsection.